Hello. My name is Kendrick, founder and CEO of MarketPrompt Marketing Services. And today I'm going to show you how to scale your home improvement business. And I'm only going to show you what is necessary to scale your home improvement business. You can just go watch anybody show you how to work Meta Suit, but you don't know what is specific for your company. That being said, we help home improvement businesses scale, and I'm going to show you how to work it. So first, if you haven't been here, we're going to go from start to finish. Not saying that everyone's on the same level, right? Some people haven't even interacted. Some people only use PPC. Some people only use Google Ads. Here, we're talking about Meta's platform. So in order to reach that audience, we're going to go from start to finish. Once you search up Meta Business Suite, it's going to pop you up with a website just like this. Make sure you log in with a Facebook account. Make sure it has two-factor authentication on, because Meta does not play when it comes to bot accounts running ads. They don't do that. They don't approve of it whatsoever, and they are quick to ban you. So make sure you have your phone number. Make sure your Facebook account isn't fresh. Make sure that it's warmed up. You have friends. Make sure it has two-factor authentication on, and everything under the C's, right? Make sure your Facebook account isn't new, right? So that's the first thing, right? Have a warm Facebook account. So once you're logged in, you should be able to click start now, and it'll probably prompt you with opening a business portfolio. It's going to look something like this, right? So you'll have your portfolio. You basically create it. You put whatever name you want, and it'll probably ask if you want to collect some assets of yours and put it under there, meaning your Instagram account or your Facebook page. If it kind of picked it up that you already have those and it's kind of connected, then it'll probably throw it under there for you. But let's say you already connected them, right? You just created your account, you connected to your business portfolio, you got a proper name, it's set up. So once you have your business portfolio set up, you want to come over here to business settings. Here you can just manage all the people, you can manage your Facebook pages, you can manage your Instagram accounts, any assets that you have relating to your company. You can kind of manage them all at one, and you can kind of assign people to interact with your company. Let's say you have multiple employees, or you have a manager, advertising manager, social media manager, whatever. You could kind of give them access here, and that allows them to go on your page. That's the main purpose of it, right? So in this case, we're going to talk about more about advertising, right? So you want to have a Facebook page, right? Business page, Facebook business page. So you can add one right here. If you have an existing one already, you're already familiar with Facebook pages, connect it right here. If you want to create a new one, you create a new one right here. Set it up, put your business information, get it all warmed up, banner, whatever, hook it up, right? Then once you have a Facebook page, it's more unified, right? When someone clicks who's running this ad, it pops up your page, right? Then they can convert through that way. Maybe because some people are more questionable, right? They don't believe everything on the internet. So when they see that, oh, this is a real page, got your business, all that stuff. It's not someone random. You want to come over here to ad accounts. So this is where you run ads. So once you have a ad account created, right, you come over here to add, and you create you a new ad account. Name it something relevant and assign it to your page. Make sure your page is connected to it. So then you want to come over here and click open an ads manager. All right. So this is one of our clients that we're setting up right now. So we're just going to use it as a test for now. You come over here to hit create. In this case, you're a home improvement business, so you want to have leads, right? So you can generate more income. So you can talk with them and get free estimates and kind of just lend them in until getting a new job. Your leads. So when you create a new campaign is like the top of when you're looking at your ads, your campaign is going to be the top, right? There's 3 different categories when it comes to ads, right? You have your campaigns, and then you have your ad sets, right? Sorry, this is a fresh one, so it's popping up a lot of pop-ups. But you have your campaign at the top, right? It's your folder. And then your ad sets is really like the file. And then your ads is like the words on the file. Let's look at it like that. So when you first open up that campaign, you're going to have your campaign name here. Name it something relevant, right? You might want to put your name, your business name, or the month. And then you always want to put testing. Not only when you first open up a ad account, you have to warm it up, right? You can't just come in with $1 million, throw $1 million at it, and it's going to start spending however that's breaking down to. It's not going to spend 10K a day, right? Yeah, you want to always have it on testing, because you have to warm up the ad account, right? It doesn't just start spending large amount how you need it. So buying type, just keep it on auction. We're going to get very simple with this one. Again, when you start spending large amounts of money and there's certain targets that you have to hit, then some of these details you're going to need to mess with and get with the incrementals and certain things that you can mess with. But for today, we're going to keep it simple. So buying type auction, we already selected our leads, right? We already selected our leads, so that's our objective. Campaign budget, that's your best bet, right? If you're spending lower amounts of money, you're going to need to have a budget, obviously, right? So you can either have a daily budget. You can make it not go over a certain amount of money a day. Let's say you have it running for more than a month, or you don't really know when to stop it. You can have a daily budget, and you can just kind of test with it on that. Or if you're more strict and you know how much money you need to spend, you can have a lifetime budget. So let's say for this campaign, we don't want it to spend more than $2,000 this month or $10,000 this month. So highest bid strategy, just do highest volume or value. Just keep it simple. And you can also do A/B testing, which will show your ads to different audiences, and it'll basically pick the best audience itself. But in this case, we want to leave it off because, again, our audiences would be people with homes, right? Homeowners. So special ad categories, this is like if you're doing extra stuff. Again, any of these, right? But again, we're trying to get leads here, so we're just going to keep it blank. So if we click next, it's going to set us into the ad set. The ad set is like the parameters, right? The campaign is like the information, right? The ad set is just the parameters within that information. So like, what do we want it to do? So here we have a name. Again, you can name it to keep it organized. And the conversion. So this is important. We can choose how we want to claim them as a lead or where we want to send them as a lead, right? A prospect in this case, right? So we could either have them fill out a form on the app itself and then send them to our website. We can have them call and send them to our website. We could have them do instant forms, which is it's fill out their information in the app again, and then they can have message you in your DMs on Messenger through your business profile. Or we could just have it do a single, right? Website, right? Send them straight to the website when they click that picture or the video. We have them fill out a form on the thing, which can go, now you could just collect their information and then they can scroll, right? Collect their information on the app. You can have them message you personally. You have Instagram, you could go to your Instagram, or they can message you through Instagram, however you want. WhatsApp, calls, app, again, however you want them to contact you singularly. So in this case, we're going to just do website, right? Send them to a website. Maybe you have a form. Maybe you have all your jobs, your portfolio of work on your website. Your performance goal, you can either maximize conversion. So like we can create a data set right here, which is a pixel. And every time someone fills out a form, we say, "Good job, Meta." And the AI is like, "Oh, I love that." And so every time that category of audience, right? Because a lot of people's data is on Meta already. And so what people search up kind of categorizes them. And so that's why they have personalized ads. So it's like, you ever search something up on Google and then you seen it on YouTube? Google owns YouTube. So, so they keep track of a lot of your information so that they can advertise to the right person. Again, in our case, would be the homeowner because we're a home improvement business. So you can maximize the number of leads. Maybe the conversion is a lead in this case, right? You can maximize amount of views. Most likely don't want to do that. Link clicks, don't want to do that either. You can do unique reaches. Maybe you want to show it to a new audience, right? Maybe when you run ads, you've been running ads for a while and it keeps showing it to the same people, the same audience. You can have it go for different, right? You can force it to go for different. Or you can just have impressions, right? Now, impressions is essentially every time someone scrolls and that ad pops up on their screen and they stare at it just enough to conceive the information and they scroll, maybe they're just doom scrolling. Yeah, that's just an impression, right? It doesn't mean that they convert. It doesn't mean that they're a lead. It's just an impression. An impression is when they put the ad in front of them, right? So again, we create a data set known as a pixel, right? Pixels are very important. So we have our website. We can essentially take code, put it on our website, so that every time a form is submitted, it says, "Good job, Meta," again. And now Meta knows this is the audience that is going to convert and give them their information. They're doing a good job for you, right? Meta AI with all this stuff, it's amazing. I think statistically 4 billion people are almost 4 billion are using this app every month. I mean, obviously we're not going to fix 4 billion roofs, but if it works, it works. So you create a data set here and take that data set and code it into your website. And then based off of how many people, like you can set a goal, right? Once you have that data set up, and like, let's say every $3 or every $30 I need a lead. And so when you put that goal in there, it will try its hardest to show it to the right audience and get it cranked in to the $30 mark so that you could get a lead every $30. That's just a goal, right? Doesn't mean that it's going to be exactly that. It doesn't mean, no, it's just a goal. And you can make value rules and just kind of like set up how that pixel should interact with the ads and how it should kind of take the data and figure out where's the audience, how to get them, how to crunch the numbers. Simple. Under that, you have your dynamic creative. So if you do multiple ads, right? Multiple plumbing ads, multiple HVAC ads, right? Meta will take all of the ads, whether it's still images or it's videos, and let's say you have to put in copywriting, proper copywriting and persuasion to get them to click. And so once you put in copywriting for all the ads and you put in a bunch of different text, once you put in all the copywriting and you put in all the proper text and you put in all the editing on the ad and whatnot, everything's done. Meta will actually take all of those ads and organize it in a certain way, or change the copy on some of the videos and put it on separate ones. And maybe somebody replies to a copy more than others, or someone likes still image ads more than video ads, and they will organize it in a way that appears to them. And so that's basically the dynamic creative, which you could most likely you should just keep it on, right? It might create a video, it might create an image slideshow, and people were more likely to click. Or some people just want a video, or maybe they want proof of your work after that, or whatever. That's your dynamic creative, right? It dynamically creates different ads for the people. Again, this is simple. You got your budget and schedule. You just do a start date and end date. Again, we set up the lifetime budget, so this is just a start and end. So here we have the audience. Now you can come to the controls and set this up. So you can set the location, right? It has to be inside the United States, right? And then let's say you're in North Carolina. Oh Lord, right? Maybe you want it only to advertise inside of the state. Hello, hello, hello. Voiceover Kendrick here. If this is your first video and you plan to run ads after, please disable this setting. It basically says anybody who's interested in the same service that you're advertising is going to get that ad. Meaning Johnny in California is going to get your ad because he's interested in roofing. Please turn this off, because it's going to recommend people who are interested to respond to what you're selling. So it's not very good, because people who aren't exactly in that radius that you set is going to get your ad. Please turn this off. Right? So now your location says United States, and then it has North Carolina in there, right? And so you can add a bunch of locations at once, right? So you got countries, cities, you can do it in bulk. But again, home improvement services in North Carolina. Boom. That's it. Then you could add different cities. Maybe you're in a different city, right? You might not be advertising to the broad of North Carolina. You might not be that big. So you can enter wherever you are, or you can genuinely just put your shop location. And so anybody in that district will be advertised to. And so you can actually come over here and you can drop a pin wherever you want, right? See, look, we're getting deep. Let's say you put in your location, you want to drop a pin. You could drop a pin, right? onto their location, and then you can set the radius of the pin. Like, that's amazing. Is that not amazing? That's 50 miles right here. So let's say your location is somewhere in Raleigh, right? And you drop the pin and you're going to travel up to 30 miles for a client because you don't want to get all those tax deductions. Boom. Now everybody in that circle is going to get your ad, and it's going to crunch it down so that it's not advertising to Jason in Oklahoma and you're a North Carolina business. You only do local. Why are we going states over to? You want to come here? Make sure your location is straight. So once your location is straight, you can show more controls right here. Now, there's advertising settings which you manually have to set up for your ad account. But in this case, we don't have any advertising settings. You can go back in your ad account and set up your advertising settings, which is like a standard basis on like auto filled information. Like, let's say you can only advertise in the United States because your invoices don't convert foreign exchange. Okay, that's just as simple. It's as simple as I could get. So let's say you want a minimum age, right? You know the age, the minimal age for a homeowner, probably around 20. Let's say they're 21, right? You want to mess with only people who are 21. You don't want to be dealing with someone who's 18 years old who has their own house. I mean, that's amazing, right? But probably not going to happen, right? So you want to put your minimal age. And so now you can exclude certain audiences. Let's say it doesn't apply to anybody, but you really don't need to work with this because, again, most people living day to day has a home. So there's nobody really to exclude. So you make sure you can put all languages. Maybe you want to put English, right? You want to be specific, right? You don't want to be advertising to somebody that you can't serve because they don't speak the same language as you, right? It's just things that we have to do, something we have to keep professional. So here, you can include certain audiences. Now this is the good stuff. So you can create custom audiences, right? Maybe the like it's deep. You can get audiences from your website, app activity, videos, certain stuff. You create certain audiences with that. So let's say, boom, now that pixel, they just created a pixel so that they capture that audience. So boom, there it goes there right there. So this is the suggestions. Suggest an audience. This is more like Meta doesn't exactly listen to what you say, but it takes it into consideration. So it knows the audience more than you do because they have thousands and thousands of data. And so if you give them a general understanding of who you're going for and what your business is, they'll do the rest of the work. And that's the good thing about it. So you can include custom audiences. You can set up a pixel. And so if they interacted with something, or let's say you have an email list, you can kind of just put them here. Wow, a lot of people are interested in strawberries. Then now it automatically knows that because let's say you're selling strawberries, but in this case we're home improvement. So if they have a home and they've been interacting with your business page because they're interested in getting a new roof, or maybe their sink is falling apart, there you go. So the good stuff here is the suggestions, right? You can have a suggested age here. So let's say your minimal is 21. Again, we already selected our minimal. And then most people are, I hope you're after 65 plus with the home. So you can select your maximum and your minimal. Gender, let's say you might appear to men more than women. And then we have the detailed targeting right here. So this is the good stuff. So let's say you do a background search, or you ask AI, like, what are some things that homeowners do? And so you can add certain behaviors that they do. Maybe they search up stuff for their home, or maybe they search up power washing, or people who interact with what you do already need your services, right? So if they're searching up something relevant to what you provide, this might be a behavior of theirs, right? Maybe it's just anything that you could think of relevant to being a homeowner. This is where you put it there. And you just put it right there and you're done. And so you can save the audience, and it'll take this right here, take all of this right here, and it'll save it. So the only thing that you have to do when you start running ads is click right here and right there. So you can either save an audience off of a pixel, or maybe they interact with your page, or you can suggest an audience right here if you want to be more specific. And every time you run ads, it'll save the audience, and you click right here and you just put it in there every time you run ads. Love it. So you can also come here to verify a little bit further. Let's say you are doing big amount of money and you don't want stuff to happen. You can come over here and do a little verification with your ID, and you can get verified even more so that when you start running ads, they know that you're a real person, not AI. As long as you have two-factor authentication on your Facebook account, you should be good. You can also exclude where your ads will be placed, but again, you don't need to really mess with that because Meta automatically does it for you. So boom. Now that you're done with the settings, and then you're done with the inner workings, right? Now you just post the ads, right? This is where you just put a little ad name, what page is connected to. Maybe you have a Facebook profile, you don't connect it, boom, right? And you might be able to put it on threads as well. Some people interact with threads. And so you can use an existing post. Maybe you did some photos earlier, or you can just create a new ad right here. So manual upload. You can use a single image or video, or you can do a carousel. Again, you can just do single image or video because we already have that, right? If you come over here and you click that dynamic creative and you enable that right there, then you won't need to come over here and change it if it's a carousel or not, because the dynamic will automatically put that and put it together. Maybe it might have a carousel of multiple images or multiple, ads. So multi-advertiser ads. So let's say people in the same genre of your business, right? Your business page has a genre. And so people doing the same thing as you, they're going to take their audience and give it to you. You can technically steal your competition with the one setting on top of all of the amazing things that I'd mentioned. Isn't Meta just amazing? This is where you just upload the ad, right? You put your primary text, your headline, your description. This is where you put your amazing copywriting and your amazing persuasion and all that stuff. And so you could put your business website right here, but you could also have a call button. You can have an extra button, right? And so when they move over, right, you can have a call button or all that. But if you have that all set up on your proper website, your proper website addition to your funnel, your marketing funnel in this case, you don't really need these buttons, right? But you can also add it as an option. And you can also have a call to action, right? Your call to action might be see details, or it might be buy tickets, contact us, right? So it's like, boom, you might have a get quote, right? You can also add another option. Let's say you have your own words that work, right? So just give a little call to action. So it's like the little button that pops up when they need to click your website. So instead of whatever, it'll say quick. It'll say get quote. And then once you click that little get quote button, it'll send them to your website. So that's the call to action. So again, we've already set up the pixels, but we can also set up pixels here as well from the app, from the ad. So the ad can track more conversions. So again, anything mentioned as a data set, when I say pixels, pixels more the broad term, and then the data set is like the meta term. So the data set, you can also set up your data set here if you didn't set it up in the standalone, right? If you didn't set it up in the ad set, you can also put your data set here as well. You could also connect one specifically to that ad. So you got your browser add-ons, you got your call to action, you got the link. You don't necessarily need a link. You could put the link there, but most of the time they're going to press the call to action button and go to your website. Again, we have the dynamic enabled. So you could also hit this as well, and it'll optimize the creative for each person. So some people like interacting with certain things more. And you come over here, you could click to preview your ad, and then once you have your ad here, it might have the headline, and so you can kind of see what it will look like when they're scrolling on their phone. So it's not like you're under the boat. So you can kind of test out with that one. And the only thing that you have to do is publish and connect your bank card, of course. Because when you first enable your ad account in the first place, it automatically gets you to set up your credit card. So that's it. So you just publish the ads, they go to your website. It's simple. And you might be sitting here like, oh, this is a lot. That's fine. If you want help, or if you want us to do this for you, marketpromptofficial.com, or you can go in the description below and you click our website and actually sign up for our services and just get a booking call, and we'll ride you on board to everything and do it all for you. Because marketing's hard. This is time consuming. Not everyone has time. Time is money. That is how you market on Meta Business Suite. Any issues? Contact us. Again, you know where we are. That's how you market on Meta Business Suite and their platforms. I'm Kendrick, founder and CEO of MarketPrompt Marketing Services, and that's done for you by your marketing superheroes. Take it easy now.